If you're an investor or you're a real estate agent that works with investors, you're going to want to see today's broadcast. We're interviewing Amanda Williams, Amanda the Traveling Realtor on Instagram. She has a niche that is very specific to midterm, not short-term, but midterm rental properties. We want to thank our friends at Capital Title, as well as Blended Sense for supporting our show. And we have got an amazing lineup coming up. So please like and subscribe for future content. Okay, so I'm here with Amanda Williams, aka Amanda the Traveling Realtor. And we talked a little bit before with mutual friends in, I said Costa Rica, but Cabo San Lucas. Yeah. And so you have a different niche than most people, right? So tell me about that. It's midterm, right? And is it short term as well?
So I run a hybrid model. So I started out with short term, and then we transitioned over to midterm. So midterm is more of like a 30-day stay. So my average clients they're staying for about 3 months on average, 3 to 4 months.
Okay.
And then if I don't have someone in for a monthly stay, then I'll throw it on Airbnb, and then that'll be a hybrid stay, right? So then that'll be a short term for 4 or 5 night minimum, and I'll do that for a couple of weeks until I can get another midterm rental into my property.
Gotcha. How did you get into this?
How did I get into rentals in general?
Well, okay, let's talk about real estate first, because
Okay.
I know you just moved here in the last few months, right?
Yeah.
And so, are you licensed here or where?
No, I'm licensed in North Carolina.
Okay.
So I got my license in 2013 because I was flipping houses at the time. So I didn't want to pay a real estate agent, and at the time we could actually buy houses off the MLS to flip. So it was really nice.
Okay. And the reason I think this is a very interesting subject is I think that this is a niche that is not very much known to agents. And like I have a handful of duplexes. One of them is a short-term rental on one side, on both sides. And like the short-term rental market right now is just terrible, right? So, we'll get to that in a second. But so when you were in North Carolina, and then you moved to Costa Rica, and so let's talk about the traveling realtor thing. So how did you get into that, and how did that correlate with your, I guess, integration into this niche?
So, I moved to Cabo San Lucas in 2020. So I was in North Carolina from 2012 to 2020-ish. And that's when I built my whole business. So I built my long-term rental business first.
Yeah.
So I was doing that, doing a lot of creative financing, getting as many properties as I possibly could. And then my dad came down with cancer in 2018.
Okay.
And so I don't believe in the traditional method of the United States for curing cancer or treating. I shouldn't say curing because they don't cure cancer in America.
Yeah.
They treat it with chemo and drugs. And so we took him down to Mexico for a month. And when we were down there, I was like, let's just throw the property on Airbnb. That's my personal house. And so we did that, and we made a lot of money.
Okay.
And I had a few flips going on at the time. And so we were like, okay, let's just keep these flips. Let's do cash out refis, and let's turn those into Airbnbs. And so we did that. So that was kind of like the stepping stone for us getting into the short-term rental market.
And so when you were buying these properties, were you buying them, what areas were you buying in?
Raleigh, North Carolina.
Okay, gotcha. And then did you ever do anything in Cabo?
No.
No, because the financing is really tough there, right?
Yeah, financing's terrible. I built my whole portfolio in Raleigh. I know Raleigh. I've built a local brand in Raleigh at this point.
Yeah. So okay, so that's a short-term rental, and then how did it go into midterm? Or midterm, yeah.
Midterm, yeah. So COVID hit, and of course Airbnb canceled all reservations. So $66,000 of reservations gone in a 24-hour period.
Yeah.
And I was freaking out. Within 48 hours, I literally went online, started doing these massive marketing campaigns into different Facebook groups, and ended up getting all of our properties full again within 7 days. I ran a Come Quarantine With Us campaign.
Oh, cool.
Mostly to New York, because I had a couple reach out to us from New York, and they were living in an apartment. They had 3 little girls. They had 2 dogs. And this was right when the news had just said, we're going to shut the borders down for New York. You can't, if you're in New York, you can't leave.
Yeah.
And so that was my twist. And I started marketing the crap out of that on Facebook. And this couple called us. And so they came down, they stayed with us, and they, multiple living rooms. So they had plenty of room for Zoom schools, for 3 Zoom schools.
Yeah.
They were both working on Zoom. All right. So there's 5 people working online plus 2 dogs. So I moved them into one of our houses with a fenced in yard. And that was the beginning of it.
Oh, wow. Cool. Yeah, we had a Zoom school here for a few months. We had an office that was a big office up there in the front, and we had 6 or 7 kids that were in our bubble, and did that. So you started that with your one rental property, right?
No, I had 15 at the time.
Oh, you had 15, and okay. Now, and did you segment this out to where you're helping other people?
What do you mean other people?
Well, I mean, clients.
Well, as far as the guest?
No. I guess what I'm saying is, are like right now, you're helping people buy properties and manage them into short-term, midterm rentals, right?
We are, yes.
Okay, yeah, that's what that's like. Talk me through that, how that go, and how are you arranging all that?
Yeah, so that just started a few years ago. So that all happened. So 2020 happened. That gave us the idea of doing more of midterms. We started building our website back then. And then in 2021, I got kicked off of Airbnb. I was off of Airbnb for over 2 years.
Why?
Because I added a co-host to my account who had a felony.
Oh.
And the co-host was my cleaner. So I didn't know.
Yeah, I mean, so just helping you manage it, right?
Yeah, I just wanted him to see okay, these are my check-ins, these are my check-outs.
Yeah.
Clean. So Airbnb, instead of telling me, hey, you can't have that person on your account, they completely shut down my account.
Wow.
And they wouldn't tell me for over 2 years.
Yeah, you can't get them on the phone.
It was a nightmare.
Yeah.
So, so that happened. And that's when I stepped fully into midterm rentals. I stepped fully into building out my own brand, my own direct booking website. And then that's when I switched over and started helping investors as well. Okay.
And so, kind of switching gears here a little bit, like your brand, the Traveling Realtor. So do you promote that, like your services on Instagram? I know you have over 20,000 followers. Do you get a lot of business from that?
So I kind of run it as 2 separate businesses.
Okay.
So my rental business is in Raleigh, North Carolina. That's called Carolina Furnished Rentals.
Okay.
So that's completely separate.
Yeah.
And then my Amanda the Traveling Realtor brand is more of my educational brand.
Okay.
So I teach people how to build a business just like I've built. I teach them how to build that in their own local market so they can get off the platforms.
Oh, wow. Okay. And so, are you have an educational component then, right?
Yeah.
And like a course?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, like hosted through Kajabi or something like that?
Actually, I do everything live right now because about 85% of what I teach is all done on AI.
Okay.
And AI is changing so quick. I feel like if I recorded this, it's going to be outdated. So
Sure.
every week I'm teaching something brand new.
Okay. And the premise of that is you're teaching people, these are like self-managers.
So these are people who have properties on Airbnb. So they have 3 to 5 properties on Airbnb. They don't have a business. They don't have an LLC. They don't have a business brand. They don't have a direct booking website.
Yeah.
Or maybe so if they don't have any of that, I have like a starter workshop that they go through.
Yeah.
If they do have that, they're ready to go into my big 30 to 60 day program, which is where we actually build them from scratch. All right, you've got your website, great, but how are you driving traffic to that website?
Mm-hmm.
So then I'm teaching them Google My Business, and I'm teaching them how to do all of their online presence and marketing and social media and just all the things that I've done that built my local brand.
Okay, and that local brand is designed to bring in consumers when they search for Airbnbs.
No, that local brand is designed to do corporate rentals, insurance claims, stuff like that.
Okay.
So the companies will then come to you as a professional company, right? Then you're going to be known as the corporate rental expert in your particular market.
Yeah.
When I'm done with you.
Wow, that's fascinating.
Yeah, so there's 2 angles on it, right? So there's the angle of, hey, we're attracting the businesses that put their clients with us and they pay for it. And then we're also attracting people relocating.
Yeah.
So my whole I would say 80% of what I market is to people from California who are moving from California to North Carolina.
Yeah.
And so they come in, they stay in our properties, and then they get to know the area. If they like it, then I assign them one of my real estate agents to go buy a house.
Oh, cool.
So
Well, you get a referral fee from that.
I get referral fees from that.
Yeah.
And that attracts investors as well.
Yeah.
Because they're like, well, if I buy a house with you and then you can set it up and then you can rent it to your clientele, I'm like quadruple dipping at that point.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, okay. One thing I want to talk about was like, we are actually my vacation rental is on the market right now. We just put it on the market like yesterday. And so like to sell, right? And so the last few, and now it's not professionally managed. I have 6 duplexes on one street, and one of the places is rented at a very discounted rate to, I call it a house manager. She kind of takes care of everything on the street. And I haven't needed it to be professionally managed because it was going fairly well. This year has been horrible for short-term rental. And again, let me just preference this by saying we have not done a good job because I've got a whole other thing going on here, you know. Why do you think that short-term rentals in Austin, I mean, obviously it's the economy. I think probably, you know, the fact that the ban for short-term rentals was lifted, there's more inventory now. But you think that's why short-term rentals has become so tough here?
Honestly, I don't know.
Yeah.
Austin, I don't really focus, even though I live here in Austin, I don't focus on Austin because it's not my market.
Yeah, and you haven't been here that long.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I think that that would probably be a good solution for people midterm for people that are kind of in the position that I'm in with this, where I'm getting less than half the bookings. Also, what we've seen, I know this to be true, is that like the lead time for someone to book on our Airbnb is like half of what it used to be. You know, it used to be like, I don't know, I'm making this up, 45 days. Now it's like 25, sometimes a week before. I mean, that happens all the time. And so what are the advantages that you could name for midterm over short term?
Oh, there's so many.
Yeah.
So the first one is the time that you are spending on short term versus midterm. For short term rentals, you're probably hosting 100 guests per year on average. For a midterm rental, you're hosting maybe 4 to 6 because each of those people are going to stay really at least. Some of them are going to stay a month. Some are going to stay 6 months.
Yeah.
It just depends. Like if it's an insurance claim, they could be there for up to a year.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you this, because as we talked before, my girlfriend does a lot of short-term rentals. So the one of the things that she has happened from like now to the end of the year, the phone rings a lot because people are wanting to get short-term rentals because I forget that there's a tax law that you can, everything that you do on a property that you put into the property, you can deduct that. I guess you don't have the what's the word for it? It's normally like you have to depreciate over years, and you can get that up front. So there's a big tax advantage. Is it the same thing happen on midterm rentals?
Yeah, it's the same thing because, okay, so even though we're calling them midterm rentals, we're signing a lease depending on your it depends on your city. So like my city, 30 days or less is a short-term rental.
Yeah.
So I'm doing a new lease every 30 days.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
So it's always going to fall into the short-term rental regulations.
Yeah.
The reason why I do that is because I can avoid landlord-tenant law.
Yeah.
So I'm with the Vacation Rentals Act at this point.
Oh, wow. That's another loophole or hack or whatever you want to call it, right? Yeah, that's cool. Okay. So there's a lot of different advantages for that. You know, you may, like in Austin, the main reason I think that you're seeing lower vacancies, and I have another one at Nativo too, and like That's the downtown building that's all vacation rental, kind of like a hotel. And like I'm seeing, the income and revenue go down from there. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that there's a flood of properties being bought now because of we had a ban on it if it wasn't your primary residence for like 3 or 4, I don't know how many years here, that you could not even get. You couldn't legally operate one. So I think that there's too much inventory in short term. And I could see this as a way for investors or even people that are moving for some time, properties that people are trying to sell. They can't sell it because they can't get enough for it. They need to move. This is a solution for a lot of different things, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And we're having this conversation before the new Airbnb fees take effect. So they're going to 15.5% October 27th.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And
so
what are they now?
a 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's going to be the client's going to pay the same. All right.
Yeah.
The guest is going to pay the same. But the difference is for all of us who are using PMS systems, we are now going to be charged that 15%. It's actually it's like a 13%.
What is PMS?
Property management system. So like if any of us, all short-term rental hosts, they're using Hospitable, Hostfully, Owner Res, Journey, Guesty, like all of those. So if you're plugged into any of those platforms, your fees are about to change. And if we don't increase our fees, then we're going to make 15% less money when the host down the street who's doing this as a hobby doesn't have to change their fees because they're not getting this extra, this 15% hike.
Oh, wow. So, okay, I use Hospitable, and that's really the only thing I really use. And AirDNA, is that one of them?
That's not considered a PMS system.
Okay, got you. Okay. But, I mean, only reason I really use Hospitable is for the automated emails and stuff.
And the calendar.
And the calendar. Well, I don't even use the calendar. I haven't logged in like 2 years. I mean, my house manager does it, like change the codes and Wi-Fi and stuff like that. But so just because I'm using that, it's going to take the fees from 3 to 15%.
Yeah. So you're going to have to pay the fees now. So what Airbnb is wanting to do is they want to look good on the guest part. So they want the guest to think they're king, right?
Yeah.
So they're showing, oh, well, it's the host that's charging you the fees. It's not us. So it's switching up.
Okay. Because the Hospitable subscription's like, I don't know, $20, $30 a month. Wow.
Yeah, you're going to get charged. Yeah.
Okay. So we've got a lot of going on here in the vacation rental world, or the midterm, short term, all that. Mm-hmm. And I think that probably the biggest thing is that, because it's become such a trend around the nation and the world, that means more inventory. More inventory means, you've got less demand, right, for your individual property. And I think that this is a good way for people to have an alternative for the just vacation rental. I mean, it's a trend now. Like people are like, oh, I'd love to have a vacation rental here. Well, everyone's thinking that. And then the more people that do it, the less you're going to make on it, and especially to see like Austin too, where, they built so many hotels that has a bearing on it as well. Yeah. So what's your advice for a real estate agent that wants to, kind of learn this niche? Obviously they can get in touch with you, right?
Sure.
But like, what do you think they should consider when they're advising their clients about Airbnb and short-term rental versus midterm? And like, I don't know, what do you have for that?
So, okay, that's like a loaded question.
Yeah,
right?
I know.
So the first thing I would say is for a real estate agent, and I'm going to take this a different direction, then I'll go back to your direction. But
Sure.
I would say for a real estate agent, one of the best things that you can possibly do is get a midterm rental under your belt. Mm-hmm. Whether that's buying it or doing a rental arbitrage on it, which is where you rent the property and then you sublease that back out to your clientele.
Yep.
Or if you're just managing it for somebody else, turn it into a midterm rental, start using that to then go and market to people who are moving into Austin or wherever you are in the world. as a relocation, right? So
Yeah.
it's like, hey, I'm an agent here. I can help you relocate. I'm an expert. By the way, I have this property. Don't feel pressured into buying a house immediately on your little weekend trip to Austin. Come here, stay for a few weeks or a few months, however long you want to, and then I'll help you buy a house in the neighborhood that you like. Because the problem that I'm personally solving in North Carolina is that these people from California come into North Carolina for a weekend, and they go and they buy a house on the east side of town when really that person shouldn't be on the east side of town. They should be on the west side of town. And so then now they're stuck in this house and they absolutely hate it.
Yeah, well, that's a normal thing for people buying stuff sight unseen or like one trip, right?
Yeah, they don't know.
Yeah.
So as an agent, you need to be the person that's like, don't get caught in this trap. This
Yeah.
is what's happening to so many people. Don't do that. Come in, stay for 3 months.
Yeah.
Make sure you like it.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And here's the other thing I would say, or I'd caution agents about is like, having a couple of 3 units, right, that are Airbnb. Like, and I like my knowledge of it is more than most, but it's still not enough, right? And like just hearing, Erica like go through these calls every day, like evaluating the properties for if it's if it's legal to do it in the area, what kind of income is it a viable property for short term, midterm, whatever. I mean, she does short term, she does the midterm, but like you really need to know that stuff. It's kind of like an agent here in Austin says, you know what, I got a client looking in Dallas and I don't know Dallas at all. I'm going to go drive up there to show him property. That's geographical incompetence. And I can say that in this market, if you're in this niche, you need to have the competence to be able to do that as well, right?
Yeah, for sure. And I would say too, like a lot of people, they don't even know anything about midterm rentals. They don't know anything about corporate rentals. And so, yeah, you can go and you can put your property onto ALE Solutions, right? That's that insurance claims style website that you can list your property on. So you could go and do that, but the reality is most people who are trying to get into that and do midterm rentals, they don't understand, or maybe they're too scared to block their calendar on Airbnb.
Yeah.
Because if the insurance company says, "Hey, you've got a great place here. I got someone to move in next week," but then you have someone checking in a month from now for a week, that's going to completely destroy that entire booking because maybe that insurance company had a 3-month booking for you.
Yeah.
And if that happens once, twice, 3 times, you're out.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah. Right. You mean you're out of the platform?
You're out. Like they're not going to call you anymore. You're on the bad list.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this is very interesting. I think we've covered everything else so far, but like, if someone wants to get in touch with you, they want to, maybe sign up for your live classes, how do they get in touch with you?
Yeah, I think the best way is my Instagram is Amanda the Traveling Realtor. And I have my website and all that too, but my Instagram's the best because I keep my link tree, which is the link in bio, update on everything that I have going on. I do free master classes. I have live classes. I have all kinds of stuff going on. So anything in my Linktree account is going to be up to date.
Awesome. Well, if you're watching this, follow Amanda, and we've got a great lineup coming up for the Realty Hack podcast. So we don't have the next video, but it'll be right up here when it does. So stay tuned and look on our newsletter sign up for my newsletter at realtyhack.com.